Welcome back to Fishbone Forensics, the series where we don't just diagnose warehouse chaos, we dissect it. In the last season, we tackled one of the most expensive operational headaches out there, product damage. And we traced it to the 6 categories hiding behind the scenes: people, process, equipment, environment, management, and tools. But this season, we're shifting gears because while it's one thing to protect your product, it's another thing entirely to have enough space to store it in the first place. This season is all about a different kind of crisis, running at a storage capacity. And we're not just talking about one kind of capacity, there are 2. And they each come with their own set of problems. The first kind is pick front capacity. That's the number of active pick locations that you have available. When you run out, you might be able to reduce pick front sizes to squeeze in more SKUs, but that comes with trade-offs: more replenishments, more putaways, and higher risk of pick shorts. Next is your operating capacity. That's your total available cube, including reserve inventory. When you hit this limit, you're either looking at reducing inventory levels if you can, or expanding. Because when your operating capacity reaches 85% or more, your productivity really starts to degrade. And not only that, but product damage usually creeps up, and most importantly, increased congestion in your aisles and on your dock can make for an unsafe working environment for your people. Expansion isn't exactly cheap, even if it is possible, and opening a new site might be out of the question, at least in the short term. Either way, when you run out of space, your operation gets squeezed from all angles, and it's one of the biggest pains for local warehouse teams and supply chain executives alike. But here's the catch. Warehouses rarely run out of space by accident. It's usually the result of bad patterns, neglected training, and slow creeping habits that quietly eat away at your storage footprint. Today, we're kicking off what I'm going to call Season 2, the same way we did the last season, with people's side of the equation. Because before you blame your racking, layout, or WMS, you need to ask, are your behaviors and habits silently stealing your capacity? Let's break down 4 people-driven root causes that lead to storage overload and how to fix them. This is Fishbone Forensics. Let's dive in. Sometimes the problem isn't how much space you have, it's what you're putting in it. And too often, slow-moving items are treated like fast movers with oversized pick fronts and bloated reserve inventory levels that tie up valuable real estate. The result? Pallets of dusty SKUs eating up prime locations, low-turn items sitting in full-size slots, and replenishment cycles that almost never trigger, but the space is still claimed. The fix? Look at conducting regular SKU velocity audits. You can adjust pick front sizing and inventory targets based on actual movement, not assumptions. And if your buyers are bringing in slow movers in bulk because of volume discounts, make sure the warehousing cost is made visible so you're not kicking the cost downstream unknowingly. Bring in a system that allows your inventory team to quickly assess item movement and productive slotting options. It might be easy to oversize locations and reduce replenishments and keep product on the floor, but what's not so easy to spot is how much space you're taking up until you start to run out of the storage locations. Not to mention, this is a good way to artificially increase selection travel, potentially costing you more to pick your orders. What's the point? Well, when space is tight, your slow movers need to move out of the way. Next up, you don't just store the product. You store the consequences of how it was purchased. When buying teams make decisions without warehouse visibility, you get this: pallets that are 70% full, SKUs that don't stack well or align with slot depths, a reserve location that can only hold 2.5 pallets of a product that ships in 1s and 2s. It's not efficient, it's wasteful. Partial pallets eat up more space than you'd think. Multiply that across hundreds of SKUs and your cube disappears really fast. The fix here would be to create cross-functional alignment between procurement and operations wherever you can. Give your buyers visibility into slot type constraints, pallet profiles, and movement data. If you can influence purchasing decisions, do it with slotting in mind, because poor buying logic is a storage problem in disguise. Next, let's go back to basics, because even the best designed slotting falls apart if putaway is executed incorrectly. Here's what it looks like. Reserve pallets staged in active pick slots, double stacking where it shouldn't happen, or worse, not stacking where it could. High turn SKUs buried in deep lanes while slow movers get aisle-facing real estate. Putaway isn't just a task, it's a critical capacity control function. The fix here is to train your team on more than just the what. Teach the why. Cube efficiency, slot protection, and long-term storage logic. Use visual aids, slotting rules, and mobile prompts to guide decisions. And don't just train once, audit frequently. Putaway mistakes are subtle until they compound. Finally, let's call out the elephant on the floor. If no one owns it, no one protects it. Slotting is often treated as a project, not a process. A one-time redesign, a quarterly review, a thing you'll get to when it's slow. And in the meantime, SKUs creep into whatever's open. Special handling logic gets ignored, and prime pick fronts get clogged with whatever fits, not with flows. It's not just a system issue, it's a people accountability gap. Now, the fix here would be to make slotting a continuous process. Get a system that works, number one, assign ownership, set targets, track adherence, and treat slotting violations like shrink, because wasted space is lost profit. So if you're feeling the pressure of a full warehouse, start by asking, are my people unintentionally filling it faster than my SKUs are moving? Next week, we move into equipment, the racking choices, and the layout flaws that can either make your space work harder or waste it entirely. As always, if you got some value out of the episode today, please subscribe as we're posting these once a week. Also, if we've missed anything, please do let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your feedback. And finally, be sure to head over to our LinkedIn for more exclusive insights, case studies, and actionable tips to optimize your warehouse operations. With that, I'm Rob, VP of Customer Success, and this is Fishbone Forensics powered by Syncontex. From chaos to clarity, one root cause at a time. And we'll see you next Friday.